Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast live. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you. What we're going to do here, we got some pretty interesting topics tonight. You can see my man G is back with us. Definitely glad to have him. We got some pretty interesting topics for you tonight. Going to talk mostly NBA, and then we're going to finish it out with some NFL. But before we get to that, you know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't wait. And we're going to take it to the final topic, and we're going to talk some NFL schedule release, right? Because this is really good, right? Obviously, we know in this country, man, as great as the NBA is, and we are in the thick of the NBA playoffs, and it's awesome, but NFL is king. NFL is king, and they have a way of doing things to never be far out of mind, right? So you know the saying, out of sight, out of mind, but the NFL never allows himself to be out of mind for too long. So we just had the draft a couple of weeks ago, and now earlier this week, we had the NFL schedule release. By the way, quick side note, if any of you are boxing fans, I hope there's some boxing fans out there. Alexander Usyk beats Tyson Fury by split decision to become the first undisputed world heavyweight champion in the 4-belt era. So that was a shocker. I'm gonna watch the fight after I get done here. So definitely looking forward to that one. But yeah, didn't expect that. If I was a gambling man, I would have gambled on Tyson Fury. But this kind of ruins things. Quick note on the boxing side. Hopefully we'll see a rematch. What I really wanted to see was Tyson Fury win in dominant fashion and set up a Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua. Anyway, let's get back to the NFL schedule release.
Hey, one second before we move
Yeah,
to football. Or we could probably
absolutely.
tag this on at the end, but I just wanted to know real quick, like, who did you have winning against the Knicks and the Nuggets? I mean, the Knicks and Indiana.
I got the Knicks.
Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
And we got what, the Mavs and OKC?
I got the Mavs.
Mavs.
Yeah. So with the Knicks and the Pacers, to me, it's just my old school mentality. It's defense, it's grind, it's rebounds, and I think at the end of the day, that's going to be enough. And I think we're going to get one more heroic performance in that series from Jalen Brunson in the Game 7. And what do they say? 2 best words in sports, Game 7. So
Game
yeah,
7.
I can't wait to see it.
And then
Nino, can you do a debate on why old basketball players and current basketball players don't respect each other, unlike football? All right. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. I don't know if you want to. I guess we can save that for another episode. I think I had a while back, maybe a couple months ago, I had my guy Mel hosted a Man Down Sports podcast. By the way, that's another really good show. Make sure you check Mel out, Man Down Sports. Go give him a like, go give him a subscribe. Really great show. And he was on and we kind of talked about that. But yeah, we can do another show about that in the future because it's definitely an interesting topic. And I have some ideas on why that is. But yeah, we'll do that in the future. All right. So let's go NFL schedule release. So the NFL released its schedule, and this to me had some definitely some interesting notes. And G and I, we're Baltimore Ravens fans, so I want to start there. I'm not gonna go through every team, of course, that would have you here all night. But let's start with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm gonna put their schedule up on the screen where you guys can see see their matchups, and then G and I will touch on some of the games we're really looking forward to on that slate. All right, so obviously the Thursday night opener in Week 1, they play at the Chiefs. That's a tough one, but I think that's the best time to catch the Chiefs right out of the gate. We know that in preseason, a lot of the superstars don't play, so it might be a really good time to catch them before they get rolling. Cowboys and Bills. So in the first 3 weeks, they have 3 division winners from last year. That's a tough way to open up. Obviously, Joe Burrow's back. They got Joe Burrow in Week 5, so that's a tough quarterback slate in the first 5 weeks. They play Pat Mahomes. They play Dak Prescott. They play. I'm not a big believer in Dak Prescott, but he's a good offensive quarterback. Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. That's tough. Then they get the Commanders in Week 6. I think they can really feast on a young quarterback. Just out of college. They got Baker Mayfield and the Bucks on Monday Night Football. They got the Browns, the Broncos, the Bengals, the Steelers. Really looking forward to Week 12 against the Chargers, the Har Bowl. That should be a really good one. You know, the Chargers, that's going to be a chin strap game because the Chargers are going to want to run the football. They are going to want to play outstanding defense. And obviously they're going to rely heavily on the play action because that's just how Jim Harbaugh coaches. I'm going to put the schedule back up here. The Steelers, you know, that's going to be tough. Not sure who the quarterback for Pittsburgh is going to be by that time. Is it still going to be Russell Wilson? Is it going to be Justin Fields? Not exactly sure. The Texans in Week 17, that's a tough one on Christmas Day. Quick side note, second year in a row, the Ravens have a Christmas Day game on the road. The Texans are going to be even better. They got Stephon Diggs from Buffalo. That's another weapon for C.J. Stroud, who is very quickly moving into becoming an elite young quarterback. They have an elite defense. So, yeah, that's a tough one. And they finish out with the Browns. So, G, what do you see on it? You want me to put the schedule back up, man? What do you see there that are, you know, the major matchups you're looking forward to or even concerned about?
Of course, the AFC North games with the Bengals,
Yes.
Browns, Steelers, that'll never change. I don't think, and I probably shouldn't say this. I'm also looking at the Cowboys game really closely because I may be flying to Dallas to watch that game, so I'm undecided
Okay.
about that. But of course, the Bills. I mean, all the AFC games will be important. There's always a tight race at the end. Especially the Texans. They're up and coming, and they'll probably
Yeah.
make a lot more noise with C.J. Stroud this year than he did last year. I
Yeah.
think he'll come into his own and be an issue at the end of the year for us. But I mean, at week 13, we should already clinch the playoffs. Um, even with this schedule, I still believe that uh, we got better last year. I mean, this
Mhm.
year we filled a lot of holes. We got good at a lot of positions that we needed to address.
Mhm.
But it's the league, right? Any given Sunday, so you never know.
Yeah, man.
I think it will be a really good season for all sports fans, all NFL fans this year,
I think
because a
so.
lot of teams are probably not the Cowboys, the Raiders, the
Cowboys lost a
Bills.
lot. The Raiders don't have a quarterback.
Yeah,
Bills lost their they lost Stephon Diggs, but if Keon Coleman can come in be an impact guy as a rookie right away, but they also lost Gabe Davis, I think, to Jacksonville. So tough. They lost two guys who can really produce at the wide receiver spot. So yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna
and
be
then the
all hands
Browns
on deck.
they lost the center of their defense last year, so this he should be coming back this year, but we don't know how he'll come back in Grant.
Right.
So all in all, I think it'll be a good season for the Ravens.
I think
We'll
so
probably
too. They're gonna have an opportunity with their defense. The Cowboys, they lost a couple of O linemen, so that's good. Uh, so they're gonna be able to really get after Dak Prescott with the pressure. The Cowboys don't have an elite running back. I think they lost Tony Pollard and they re-signed Zeke. So that's going to be tough. They're not going to be able to run the football. So it's all going to be on Dak. And I think when Dak has a terrible record, I can't remember the exact number, but he's got a terrible record when he has to throw 40 or more times. And he also has a losing record when the Cowboys rush for under 100 yards. So all those play into the hands of the Ravens.
can you
Commanders.
put a go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. What you got?
Can you put a W next to all the NFC teams that we played this year?
Well, I definitely think it's going to be a W the Cowboys, W the Commanders, W the Giants. So
Oh, it's
you
terrible
might be
last year.
right, brother. But
Yeah,
the Bucks are always going to be tough. They're going to play good defense, and Baker Mayfield is a solid quarterback, and he's got weapons. He's got Godwin, he's got Mike Evans, who they re-signed. So yeah, it's that's going to be a tougher game than you think.
yeah,
But I think it's fair to say they're probably gonna beat the Broncos because they're gonna be able to feast on Bo Nix. So yeah, the schedule doesn't look bad. I actually didn't do win loss because again that AFC, man, the AFC is gonna be tough. But I think they start out with a win at Arrowhead on Thursday night to open up the season. Um, let's hear what Chris Sims from Pro Football Talk had to say about the Ravens schedule. He had some interesting thoughts, and we can come back to that.
Hey, this is definitely one of the schedules I looked at and went, this is a little dangerous. A little dangerous in my opinion. I mean, again, hey, the Ravens, we know they're good, but for as good as they were last year, right, they had as much roster turnover as I can remember a team in the championship game having in recent history, right? When you look at it, all the old linemen that are gone, Patrick Queen's gone, right? I mean, they had a deep group of guys that are not on the team that they flipped over. And I'm not saying they're not going to be good. I know this is the Ravens. They're going to be good. But, like, how good, how quickly? I guess that's what I'm saying, right? You lose 2 interior O linemen. Your tackles are gone. You got new guys there, new middle linebacker. The secondary is going to be completely different, right? So that's where Derrick Henry's new to the mix. So that's where I look at the Ravens and go, yeah, I know they're the Ravens. I know they're going to be good. I get it. But it's not exactly the same team that we saw last year. And, it's the Chiefs week 1. You could certainly be 0-1. The Raiders, again, chippy, we know that. But, I mean, again, the Cowboys, the Bills, the Bengals, I mean, you look at that and you go, hey, the Ravens aren't playing their best football there. They could be sitting there 2-3 or 1-4 a little bit and digging themselves in a hole. Like, there's real danger in that early part of the schedule, I guess is what I'm saying. It definitely opened my eyes a little bit when I first saw it.
You know what I didn't even mention in all those when we were going over the schedule, I'm going to bring it back up one more time, is that I got to look at the run defenses there, but I totally forgot the Ravens got King Henry. That's going to really further open things up for Lamar and for this Ravens offense, knowing that they will regularly be ahead of the chains because they can generally start out, and be at 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 5 because they got Derrick Henry back there. That is huge. That is huge. I totally forgot about that. Your thoughts?
I feel like he made points, but the points that he made wasn't valid. We did plus up some key positions. We did lose Patrick Queen, but the guy that was playing that plays behind him is a lot younger, faster, and we don't have to worry about that salary cap. We knew that Queen was going to be gone when Roquan came in. It was just
It
a
hurts
matter
that
of
he
time.
left for the Steelers, though. That hurts.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I don't like that.
yeah, I mean, was he really like doing anything? I remember when he was by himself. The Steelers are going to figure out how to use
Oh yeah.
him to his best ability,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a Tomlin thing, and
Mhm.
yeah, we don't have to worry about that. But I don't got him stopping King Henry. I don't have it happening. I
Right.
think that offense gives whatever defense that comes at it fits just on a smash mouth football aspect, and that's the AFC North in itself is all smash mouth.
It is.
So um, I see a Lamar Jackson that lost 30 pounds. It's a lot faster. He's working all year round.
Mhm.
MVP, 2-time MVP. I look at the old line. We plussed up on our old line. Granted, the guys that we got will just be rotation guys. The rookies we picked up will be rotation. Is a rotation guy, but I think he'll start in the next 2 or 3 years, and it'll continue on.
Mhm.
Tight end, the wide receiver slots. I really don't really see. I see a week 5 turning the corner, and then teams starting to feel it. Like, oh, we have nothing for these guys. They can throw the ball, they can run the ball. Their offensive line blocks. Defense, these young cats that we got. We picked up a super speed corner, which will probably make Marlon Humphreys play a little better now.
Mhm.
Knowing that they starting to phase out the older corners. Look at our defense, picking up a safety. I
If
think
you got another safety, that makes things even easier. You can do even more with Kyle Hamilton now.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's my
Kyle,
guy, obviously, Notre Dame, go Irish, but first team all pro last year. That guy was, he's a legit Swiss Army knife.
yeah. I think he had more clutch tackles than Patrick Queen, and
Mhm.
so I look
Oh,
at
in fairness, though, Patrick Queen did have a really good year last year. I was looking this up. He made his first Pro Bowl, had his career high in tackles and his career high in pass breakups. So, got to give the guy some credit for what he was able to do last year.
oh yeah, no question, no question. You got to double team Roquan though.
Right, that helps a lot. But
Yeah,
see, but look now, with Patrick Queen in the linebacking core with T.J. Watt, who's getting the bulk of the attention there, right?
yeah.
Right. So now,
Yeah.
again, he may be in a position where he can do a lot of things because of the attention that T.J. Watt is getting.
Yeah, it's gonna be and no one ever said it was gonna be easy, right?
No,
But
not at
it
all.
really depends on what Ravens and Steelers team line up on Sundays.
Of
Honestly,
course, of
yeah.
course, that's
But
always what it is, right?
but you start to see like a lot of those hungrier younger players that want that time, that next man up, that Raven mentality. You
Hmm.
start to see them like with a defensive coordinator, a defensive coach that came out of the ranks of the Ravens. You start to see like that. Oh yeah, it's my turn to step up and shine. And so I
Hmm.
look forward to the season. I think the Ravens going to do really well. And any given Sunday, man, like any given Sunday, I don't think we have as many holes as people think or believe, right? Because we would have kept a lot of players. So
Yeah, no, I can agree with a lot of that. It's definitely what kind of, I'm not gonna say worries me, but concerns me a bit is that they still have the second toughest uh, schedule in the league. So there's that. But when you're one of the best teams, you're gonna face that kind of thing. So it's definitely gonna be good to watch. But let's move on from the Ravens a little bit and let's talk about something else that got me is that Christmas this year is going to be on a Wednesday. And that's crazy because Christmas is normally the domain of the NBA, right? That's the first big TV date for the NBA. And over the last couple of years, the NBA pretty much, remember Friday? We got a chain. I got a chain, right? It's a Debo. So at this point, like the NFL is just taking whatever they want, like the Honey Badger, right? They're Debo on Christmas Day. Christmas is on a Wednesday, and the NFL says, "Nah, we'll take that too." And they put two games on a Wednesday. So game one is going to be the Chiefs at the Steelers. That should be a really good matchup. Definitely, we don't know who the quarterback is going to be at that time. Is it going to be Russell Wilson? Is it going to be Justin Fields? Who knows? And then the second game is going to be Baltimore Ravens at the Houston Texans. So we were talking about this earlier. This is the second straight year that the Ravens have an away game on Christmas Day. Remember last year was Christmas night, and they really put it on the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. And this year they got to play the Texans, and that's going to be, again, a tough matchup. CJ Stroud is quickly moving towards elite, and he's got more weapons. He's got an outstanding young coach and an outstanding young defense. So, and those two games are actually, those Christmas Day games, I believe, are both going to be, yep, those are both on Netflix. Man, the NFL is just printing money, right? But anyway, that's going to be really good. Baltimore beat the Ravens in the divisional round of the playoff, beat the Texans in the divisional round of the playoffs last year. So I'm sure that the Texans will be up for that game. But yeah, two good ones on Christmas Day. And before we get out of here, let's run through the Monday night football schedule. Monday night is always good games as well. So the opener, the Jets at the 49ers, which I think is really good. Obviously, the league wants to get as much Aaron Rodgers as they can because they were really looking forward to getting Aaron Rodgers on TV a lot last year. And 4 plays into the year, he ripped his Achilles. And obviously, that New York TV market is huge, so they want to get as much of that on as possible. Week 2, Falcons at Eagles. Um, Kirk Cousins, unless something happens, he'll be the starter, but very interested to see how long he lasts and if Michael Penix Jr. doesn't end up at some point this season taking over as the starter for the Falcons. Week 3, Jaguars at Bills and Commanders at Bengals. Doubleheader. Interesting. So that second game, the Commanders at Bengals, you're going to have two LSU quarterbacks there. What is it? Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow. Should be good. Jags at Bills. Joe Burrow and what's my guy's name? Josh Allen. Nice little quarterback matchup. I think the Bills probably win that one. Titans at Dolphins, Seahawks at Lions. Seahawks at Lions, I think will be a good one. I was disappointed though that the Seahawks didn't make a move to get Michael Penix Jr. in the draft. I thought that with their OC, I think it's Ben Grubb, who was with Michael Penix Jr. at Washington, that would have been the perfect fit. Fit for the area, fit scheme wise. and what they want to do. So I don't know why they didn't try to move up to grab Michael Penix Jr. I thought that would have been a smart move. What we got? Week 5, Saints at Chiefs. Not really a great one. Week 6, Bengals at Jets. I'm gonna run through these and look for the ones I'm really more interested in. Chargers at Cardinals. That should be a more interesting matchup than we think. You've got Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray. That'll be a chance to showcase them on a national stage. And then, of course, you got the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert, and that team. What else? Bucks at Chiefs, Dolphins at Rams, Texans at Cowboys. Texans and Cowboys, Battle of Texas in Week 11, November 18th. That should be a good one. In that one, providing everyone's healthy, you'll see C.J. Stroud thoroughly outplay Dak Prescott. Looking forward to that. Browns at Broncos. Browns will probably stomp them. Bengals at Cowboys. Falcons at Raiders. Bears at Vikings. Bears at Vikings. That one might be interesting. That could be a matchup of 2 rookie quarterbacks by then. Caleb Williams and J.J. McCarthy in a divisional matchup. Who knows where both of those teams are going to be in terms of the playoff chase in the NFC at that point. Could be very, very interesting and have legitimate playoff implications. And finally, Week 17 Monday night matchup, rematch of the NFC Championship game, Detroit Lions at San Francisco 49ers. Definitely want to see that one. Jared Goff just got paid, so we'll see. Anything stick out to you there, G? Did you miss that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they actually move team games around as the season go along. If I'm not mistaken, I think I've
Yeah, they
seen.
can flex games if
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't think they can flex Monday night games though, because just the way the schedule is. I would have to check. I don't think they can flex Monday night games, but I'll check. But yeah, so the
It might
NFL.
just be the Sunday night games.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there pretty much. G, do you have anything you wanted to kind of drop in regarding the NFL schedule release and the schedule coming up this season and what you might be non-Raven related, what you might be looking forward to the most, whether it's a player or a team or a particular matchup?
Is this Dak's contract year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the Cowboys a little close this year.
Mhm.
Definitely looking at the Steelers really close. Just
Mhm.
kind of see what they're gonna do with Russell Westbrook. Russell Wilson.
Wilson.
Sorry, yeah, Russell Wilson and Fields.
Yeah.
That's gonna be some. It's gonna be interesting. Like just knowing how Tomlin works, it'll be
Mhm.
interesting to see how he utilized both of those quarterbacks.
Definitely. I think the key is whichever one. Well, they're saying right now that Russell Wilson is the guy, but I think what we really got to pay attention to is that I think Justin Fields can end up taking this job because he's a really good fit. I think in Arthur Smith's system. Arthur Smith had Ryan Tannehill in the Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league. And you know that Tomlin and the Steelers, being Steelers, they're going to want to run the football. They're going to want to play defense, run the football. And if you can run the football and then, of course, throw the ball off of that, that's a really good fit for Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, right? Russell Wilson had the best years of his career. He had his championship years in a situation where there was great defense and running the football. So this could also really work out well for him.
Oh yeah. Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame coach. Is never good when they line up on the opposite side of the football against you. And then there's also the a lot of the rookie quarterbacks that came out this year. I'm looking forward to see how they span out, especially the guy from Chicago, guy that went to Chicago.
Caleb.
Caleb that actually moved Fields to the Steelers. So I'm interested to see how he's span out. If that'll be value added to the failing Chicago Bears. Who else we got? Again, in New Jersey, I want to see if my guy's going to come back, Aaron. If he's going to come back on top and do Aaron thing. So that's going to be a really, really good football season outside of just the Ravens. I think we'll have a lot of good Sundays. There's a lot of good Sundays ahead of us this year. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and we'll leave it right there. Almost 2 hours. Not bad. We will wrap it up right here. Listen, thanks so much for everybody who came in and checked out the show. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for calling. Appreciate that. Make sure, again, you give us that like if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you share the show. Let other people know about it. We're trying to grow this thing, and we'll be back. Obviously, I'll have more shows coming out during the week. I'll have a throwback Thursday on Thursday. Not sure who's going to be the subject of that, and I'll probably cut this up and have different segments of it coming out in the next couple days. And as well, I'll probably have I'll have shows reacting to different things that's going on in the world of sports between now and next Saturday. And of course, next Saturday got another live show. So yeah, I'll be back with you next episode. Thanks again, G, and we're out. Peace.